What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Mike Perry has stepped in to defend Alex Pereira after recent footage surfaced showing Pereira knocking out a sparring partner, a clip that quickly sparked backlash across the MMA community. Many fans and fighters reacted strongly, accusing Pereira of going too hard in training. But Perry, who trains at the same Fusion XL gym where the incident happened, says people are not seeing the full story. Speaking on his Overdogs podcast, he explained that the viral clip may not represent what truly went down, and he believes some details were exaggerated for attention. Perry described Pereira as a humble warrior, someone who constantly deals with added pressure during sparring because of who he is. He said that every time someone steps into the cage with Pereira, they feel one of two things. Either they think, holy, this is Alex Pereira, I don't want to get messed up, or they take the opposite approach, saying, oh, this is Alex Pereira, I'm going to try to show my guns here. According to Perry, Pereira has to handle people coming at him with extra intensity all the time. And despite that, he remains calm, respectful, and focused on helping others improve. Perry added that he was actually at the gym on the day of the incident, although he didn't spar with Pereira himself. He mentioned hearing mixed opinions from people about the knockout clip. Some saw it as a hard training moment, taken out of context, while others felt the reaction was blown out of proportion. Perry emphasized that training is training, and things get intense. He explained that Pereira pushed the sparring partner to a higher level, working with him and landing shots that were meant to bring out better responses. He noted that Pereira did go hard to the body, but wasn't intentionally trying to knock the guy out with shots to the head. Perry even questioned whether the dramatic collapse shown in the clip was entirely real. He said he wasn't sure if there was a bit of acting involved, suggesting the possibility that the sparring partner or even the gym might have played up the moment for views and online buzz. He stressed that he couldn't say for certain, but the idea of some clickbait motivation wasn't out of the question. Reflecting on his own training that day, Perry said it was his first session back, and he sparred a couple of guys despite his back hurting badly. Meanwhile, Pereira was over in the cage sparring all the heavyweights, and Perry joked that he wasn't about to jump in there because, as he put it, I'm not a heavyweight. Overall, Perry stood firm in defending Pereira's character, insisting the champion wasn't trying to hurt anyone and that the situation was likely misunderstood or overblown once the cameras got involved. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. A major update has come out regarding the high-profile case involving Conor. A lawsuit accusing him of S3XAL ass at Ult, stemming from an alleged incident in 2023, has now been officially dropped. According to a new court filing made public on Tuesday, the unnamed accuser, referred to only as Jane Doe, voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit with prejudice, meaning she cannot refile the same claim again at any point in the future. The court reviewed the filing, accepted the dismissal, and closed the case on Wednesday, bringing an end to a nearly year-long legal battle. The lawsuit originally claimed that Conor assaulted a woman inside a bathroom during a Miami Heat game at the NBA Finals. The allegations sparked widespread attention at the time, and police did investigate the matter once the accusations surfaced, but no criminal charges were ever filed. Throughout the entire process, Conor consistently and forcefully denied that the incident ever happened. Now, almost 11 months later, the civil case has come to a complete stop. Conor's attorney, Barbara Lane, responded to the dismissal by emphasizing that the accuser had rotated through multiple legal teams over the past 2 years. Lane stated that the accuser's story was false, pointing out that she had hired and switched between at least 3 different attorneys while attempting to pursue the claim. Lane reaffirmed that Conor always maintained his innocence and viewed the allegations as entirely fabricated. The filing of the voluntary dismissal effectively closes the door on any future legal action regarding this specific accusation. For Conor, who has faced several controversies throughout his career, this marks a significant resolution, especially given how long the matter lingered publicly. With the court formally shutting the case and confirming that it cannot be reopened, all legal proceedings related to this particular allegation have come to an end. The news has quickly circulated across the MMA community, with many reacting to the sudden yet definitive closure. After months of silence and legal back and forth, this final ruling brings clarity to a case that had remained in limbo for almost a full year, officially concluding the dispute and clearing the path forward for Conor. Moving on to another news, Khabib has released audio from his infamous UFC 209 conference call with Tony Ferguson, a moment many fans still consider one of the wildest verbal exchanges in MMA history. The newly surfaced clip captures exactly why that call became so legendary. Khabib stays calm and composed the entire time, delivering short, sharp replies that seem to irritate Tony more with every passing second. Each line from Khabib pushes Tony closer to full-on rage, turning what was supposed to be a promotional call into pure chaos. In the audio, Khabib tells him, "You have fake belt, Tony, fake belt," which immediately sets Ferguson off. Tony fires back, insisting that the belt looks real to him and blasting everyone who, in his words, keeps floating Khabib's boat. He rants about sponsorships, contracts, and all the things he says he doesn't care about. Khabib, unfazed, continues calmly, almost like he's intentionally keeping his tone level just to get under Tony's skin even more. At one point, Khabib jokes that he can ask Reebok to give Tony a contract if he wants, saying they make very good stuff and that he can even order shoes for him. He asks Tony what size he wears, casually offering to get him a pair with Interchamp Tony Ferguson printed on them. The line hits hard because it mixes humor with a jab at Tony's interim title status, and it clearly frustrates Ferguson even further. Tony, trying to brush it off, claims he can't even hear Khabib because he's working out, but Khabib quickly calls that out, asking how he can be working out if he's on the phone arguing. The back and forth gets even more chaotic as Tony grows louder and more irritated, while Khabib stays steady, confused, and almost amused by the entire situation. Khabib even questions why Tony keeps bringing up Reebok in the first place, saying he doesn't understand what Ferguson is trying to prove. The resurfaced audio perfectly captures the energy of that era, reminding fans just how heated their rivalry was. With both fighters at the peak of their competitive fire, the call showcases the clashing personalities that made their matchup one of the most anticipated fights that unfortunately never came to fruition. Moving on to another news. Tom Aspinall is once again at the center of conversation after reacting to Dana White's post-fight comments from UFC 321. In a recent YouTube video, Aspinall made it clear that he wasn't pleased with the way Dana described the end of his fight, especially the suggestion that he didn't want to continue. Those remarks immediately fueled speculation online, with many fans wondering whether Dana was taking a subtle shot at the heavyweight champion. Aspinall didn't go into heavy detail, but you could tell he wasn't thrilled about how the moment was portrayed. Not long after the video went live, former UFC champion Henry Cejudo stepped in with some advice for Aspinall. Cejudo, who has dealt with similar public disagreements with Dana in the past, spoke about the situation during an interview with Shock MMA. He urged Aspinall to avoid going down the path of arguing with the UFC president, emphasizing that it's a fight no athlete is ever going to win. Cejudo explained that it's important for fighters to understand the roles at play. Dana is a promoter, and promoters are going to promote. Fighters, on the other hand, are the ones stepping into the cage. Those two worlds don't always see things the same way. Cejudo recalled his own frustrations when he fought Marlon Moraes with a torn labrum and a sprained ankle. Despite pushing through injuries, he still found himself annoyed by some of Dana's post-fight comments back then. That's when one of his mentors sat him down and told him not to take anything personally, because at the end of the day, the promoter does not share the fighter's perspective. "You're an employee under the boss," Cejudo said, stressing that fighting with him publicly will never end well. He encouraged Aspinall to stay focused on fighting and ignore the noise. He added that Dana's bluntness is part of what makes him an effective promoter. Dana will always say exactly what he feels, whether people like it or not. Cejudo even admitted that, in a strange way, he appreciates that honesty because at least you always know where Dana stands. He doesn't give a Cejudo said with a laugh, pointing out that this is just part of the business. For Aspinall, the message was simple. Don't let emotions take over, don't go back and forth with Dana, and don't make it personal. At the end of the day, this is the fight game. And as Cejudo put it, that's boxing, man. Meaning the chaos, the comments, and the drama are all part of the world they're in. Moving on to another news. Alex Pereira has shared new footage of himself grappling with Mark Zuckerberg, giving fans another look at the tech billionaire's growing dedication to martial arts. Zuckerberg, who holds a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu blue belt, continues to train in both GI and no-GI, and he has even competed in local tournaments where he's earned medals. His commitment to the sport has surprised many people, and this new clip adds even more fuel to the conversation around just how seriously he takes training. In the footage, Zuckerberg performs far better than most would ever expect against a UFC champion. He shows solid positioning, good balance, and a clear understanding of the fundamentals. Still, it's obvious that Pereira isn't going anywhere near his full strength or technique. Poan is calm, controlled, and letting the exchanges play out in a way that allows Zuckerberg to work through the motions. The interaction feels more instructional than competitive, with Pereira guiding the flow while maintaining the intensity at a safe level. Throughout the clip, you can hear moments of applause, background noise, and the kind of gym atmosphere that adds to the authenticity. Pereira remains relaxed, giving Zuckerberg space to move and experiment while still staying dominant enough to remind everyone exactly who he is. It's a cool glimpse into how high-level fighters interact with passionate hobbyists, especially someone as public and unexpected as the Meta CEO. By the end of the video, Pereira continues rolling with the same calm demeanor, showing respect and patience. The moment highlights Zuckerberg's progress in jiu-jitsu and showcases Pereira's willingness to help others grow in the sport, no matter their background. Moving on to another news. Alexandre Pantoja is gearing up for one of the biggest moments of his career. As he prepares to defend the flyweight title against Joshua Van at UFC 323, he's made it clear that he has his sights set on something even bigger, the #1 pound-for-pound spot. Right now, Pantoja sits at number 5 on the P4P rankings, just below Khamzat, and he knows exactly how hard it will be to climb all the way to the top. He openly acknowledges that surpassing Islam Makhachev won't be easy, especially considering how dominant Islam has looked in recent performances. Still, Pantoja isn't lacking any confidence. He talks about wanting to beat the best and become the best fighter in the world. He understands the challenge that comes with that kind of goal, because this era of the UFC is stacked with elite champions. You've got Islam, Merab, Duplessis, Khamzat, Pereira, Ilia, and so many other high-level fighters who make the competition tougher than ever. According to Pantoja, this is the best time to be a UFC fan, but also one of the hardest times for fighters who want that #1 ranking. Everyone in the top tier brings something special, something dangerous, and something that makes the climb to P4P supremacy incredibly demanding. He reflects on how strong the current champions are across multiple divisions. He mentions how Khamzat looks dangerous on the feet, how Islam looks almost unstoppable, and how athletes like Pereira and Ilia are constantly pushing the limits of what's possible in their divisions. For Pantoja, being a part of this group means everything. He says he feels honored to be among the best fighters in the world, standing in that same conversation with names who've been dominating headlines and highlight reels. It motivates him to push harder, train smarter, and make a statement every time he steps into the octagon. Heading into Saturday night, Pantoja's mindset is simple. Prove he's the best. He isn't just fighting to defend his belt. He's fighting to show fans, analysts, and his fellow athletes that he belongs at the very top of the sport. He wants to walk out of the arena as the flyweight champion once again, but more importantly, he wants to send a message that he's closing in on that #1 P4P position. For him, this isn't just another title defense. It's a major step toward achieving one of his biggest lifelong goals, and he's determined to make it happen under the bright lights at UFC 323. Moving on to another news, Bruno Ferreira has officially missed weight for his fight against Marvin Vettori, coming in 3 pounds over the middleweight limit at 189 pounds. Despite the miss, MMAfighting.com reported that the fight will still move forward as planned, but Ferreira will now be forced to forfeit 20% of his purse directly to Vettori. It's a frustrating situation for both sides, especially this close to fight night. But Vettori agreed to keep the matchup alive, ensuring the bout stays intact for the fans. Ferreira's weight miss adds another layer to the storyline, raising questions about how the extra weight and the last-minute setback might affect his performance once the cage door closes. However, with the financial penalty in place and both fighters still ready to go, the showdown remains on the card, and the added drama may only increase the intensity when they finally step into the octagon. Moving on to another news, Joaquin Buckley had plenty to say about his upcoming matchup with Carlos Prates, and he didn't sugarcoat a single part of it. Buckley made it clear that he sees Prates as easy money, a fight that plays perfectly into his strengths. He explained that he's not the type of fighter who slows down as the rounds go on. Instead, he picks up the pace, gets sharper, and builds momentum the longer the fight lasts. In his mind, that alone makes the Prates matchup one he feels completely confident about. Buckley repeated that Prates is an easy money fight, the type of matchup he believes suits him stylistically and mentally. But he also shifted gears, talking about something fans didn't expect: his newfound respect for Ian Garry. He admitted that he's trying to change the way he talks about other fighters and avoid unnecessary trash talk, even joking that he's a changed man. Still, his message was clear. He respects Garry because, in his words, out of everyone in the welterweight division, Garry is the only one who didn't duck any smoke. Buckley emphasized that Garry never turned down tough matchups, never avoided real challenges, and always stepped up when opponents were offered. He said that, unlike others in the 170 division, who he bluntly referred to with some harsh language, Garry consistently shows up and takes on anyone. Buckley recalled that Garry even had a fight lined up with him at one point. He clarified that he doesn't think Garry ducked him. Instead, Garry simply chose a better opportunity, and Buckley was honest enough to admit that he would have taken that opportunity too if he were in the same position. He gave Garry credit for doing his job the right way, fighting whoever the UFC puts in front of him, and proving himself against legitimate talent instead of avoiding challenges. Buckley might still talk confidently, and he might still hype up his own performances. But when it comes to Ian Garry, he made it clear that the respect is real. As for Carlos Prates, Buckley isn't backing down one bit. He sees this fight as another chance to prove how much he's improved, how relentless his pace is, and why he believes Prates is simply another step on his path forward.